Check this out.
That is insane.
But it's also just one of the genius abilities that Nintendo made for Tears of the Kingdom, and totally not a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts reference. These abilities are what give Tears of the Kingdom its identity, its sense of creativity, and the means to change the game entirely. These abilities exist to put your interactions with the world on a whole other level, like Recall, which I showed you guys earlier, which allows you to turn back the time on any single object. So let's say you're out of arrows, but you need to hit an enemy at range. You throw your sword, wait until it hits the enemy or lands, and use Recall on it, and it'll fly right back into your hand like a damn boomerang, even if you're running. Ultrahand is basically telekinesis, but goated, and lets you pick up and attach objects to one another and build insane advanced mechanical shit from scratch. I used this back in 1885 to build the first car. Fuse, which lets you attach any items or objects to your weapons for different effects and damage buffs. You basically get to create your own weapons and turn anything you see into an accomplice on your murder spree. Fucking helicopters.
Oh my god, they found me.
And Ascend, which is insane in its own right, allowing you to basically swim through anything above you and exit out the top, used most notoriously by landlords in Hyrule. These abilities all work brilliantly individually, but they also mesh together extremely well, like attaching rockets to something that fell from a high place, then using Recall and activating the rockets when it reaches its peak to go even further when it gets there. These abilities aren't just things you use in shrines or one-off situations, but tools to manipulate and use the world around you as you see fit, because the world was also redesigned to work in tandem with them. There's at least like 100 different usages for each ability in the context of the game, giving the player this feeling of pride when they discover their own unique solution to something using them. The Zonai abilities exist to further your connection with the world by allowing you to interact with any part of it in unique and interesting ways. In most games, or games like Zelda, there are only a handful of ways to handle a situation. Let's say a group of enemies is coming after you. Most games, your options are to run away or stand and swing your sword until you run out of stamina or something. But in TotK, it's a little different. You can run and fight back, but you can also use Ultrahand to attach a rocket to a nearby boulder and steamroll them like some concrete. You can ascend up to a vantage point and drop explosives on them. You can fuse a nearby object to your weapon to get more range on your melees, or you can use auto build to summon a fucking Gundam you built with homing nukes to send them back to hell where they belong. It allows you to actively select parts of the environment and use them how you see fit. It takes the sandbox genre of interactivity and twists it in a really unique and interesting way, not only being a dungeon RPG survival game, but also an interactive simulator in a fantasy world. It rewards quick thinking, improvisation, and creativity. That's not even mentioning how fun the shrine puzzles are with them. The shrines work to push you to try even more outrageous things and test the limits of each ability and their combinations. Like, there's some shit in those shrines I wouldn't have thought of even if you put me on whatever Bradley Cooper was smoking in Limitless. But all that aside, you probably noticed I haven't mentioned Ultrahand builds very much, and that's because I'm gonna do it now. This is the real fucking meat of the game. This is the type of shit you don't get out of a game anymore unless you've got Nintendo level money and geniuses. I have seen some god-defying shit made with Ultrahand and Zonai devices in this game. They got real engineers out here experimenting digitally on how to create mass meat grinding machines that could put a village of titans out of their misery. This ability is so expansive and detailed that you can do basically anything. Build military-grade bomber planes to cheese bosses, nukes, flying cars, mining vehicles to explore the depths, and whatever else your Oppenheimer-adjacent heart desires. And it can be pushed even further by using the other abilities alongside it, like using Ascend to get into the cockpit of a mech suit, or using Recall as a function part of your build. All of these things together make every player's TotK experience completely different. One person's solution to a problem can be completely and utterly unique from anyone else's, because the features don't make you conform in any way. They stretch and mold to the player's whims, giving them absolute freedom. With some of the smartest decisions of abilities and the implementation of insanely detailed and intricate interactions between them and the world around you. Where Breath of the Wild was a polished survival game, TotK takes that formula and pushes it to the limit in creative ways to make an absolutely unforgettable sandbox experience. Alright, thank you for watching. Let me know your most interesting experience with Zonai abilities, and I will see you all next week. Peace.
It is 1 a.m. I have a flight in 2 hours. Please subscribe.